Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Michael for Spirit Comics. It is my pleasure to bring to you right now my review of Hulk number 11. Why? Because I thoroughly enjoyed this issue. I loved it so much. This was better than Doomsday Clock number 1. This was better than America number 1. This issue took a lot of flack, but I did not see what other people saw in this. I saw a good time. I saw a fun time. I laughed. For the first time, really, I think since Jennifer Walters was given her comic back, I laughed. I enjoyed the previous 10 issues of Hulk, but this one was the best issue, and sadly it was the last issue of Hulk, which I'm glad, because that name did not suit her. Jennifer Walters has always been She-Hulk, because for decades prior, her cousin, Bruce Banner, was the Incredible Hulk till somebody killed him off. Anyways, this cover, it doesn't need background really. Though, I would have, if it were me to make the decision, she would have been green on this cover, and maybe the background would have been a shade of red, or maybe a pink, and the hearts themselves would have been red. Is love in the air for Hulk? No. Now, I love Mario Tamaki, although you'll probably never ever see this. I want to tell you that this intro was really funny, because normally it's someone telling, okay, this is what happened in the previous issue. This time it's Mario Tamaki, or I'm sorry, I'm probably not pronouncing the name right. It's her breaking the fourth wall, and she does it repeatedly. Oh cool, is it new comic book day already? Best day of the week. Am I right? Anyways, I'm Jen. Nice to meet you. This is my comic book. This is how she breaks the fourth wall. In the previous issues, I've gone through some stuff, dealt with trauma, fought a golem made of rage and fear, and grappled with a YouTube star turned monster on the Brooklyn Bridge. Been a busy few weeks, but my editor and Mariko, I'm trying to pronounce it right, promised me some downtime this issue, and I'm really looking forward to it. Wait, what? They're making me go on a date? Oh, come on! Writer Mariko Tamaki, I hope I said that right. Artist Bachin, color artist Federico Belli, and letterer Travis Lenham. And main cover art John Tyler Christopher, who, by the way, you did a really good job with the cover. There's some, like I said, there's some bits of it that I would change myself, but otherwise I think it's a really good cover. So we start this issue off in the apartment of Jen Walters, where she's getting ready for her date with Hellcat. Not with Hellcat, but Hellcat's helping her, sort of. Hellcat's looking at the profile of the dude that she's going to meet for a date. It's basically a blind date. Oh, he likes to work out. How novel. Oh, and he likes novels. Is this fake? And she is, and I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but Jen Walters is wearing a Fantastic Four t-shirt. Could that have been a little Easter egg, a hint of what's to come? And Jen says they all like novels. Historical novels, Patsy. It means you're deep. And Patsy's just grinning, wide as can be. She's enjoying this. And there's the dude that Jen's supposed to meet for a date. Mark, 32. All the great lines are taken by the great writers. Let the grapes fall where they may. And he doesn't look all that impressive. But Hellcat says he has a nice profile pic though. Friday night in New York City. And there's these aren't speech bubbles, they're caption bubbles with hearts around them. And this is just so much fun to read. It was for me. Oh, and he's a foodie. Where are you meeting him? It's a place called Selvezbot. Sounds pretentious. I'm sure it is, she says. I bet you can get a really tiny steak there. Jen says, see, now that's what I'm going to order. By 6 o'clock, single women across the city are preparing for the most fabulous of rituals. Date night! And they both look down at the caption bubble, surprised. Because look at Hellcat, and then look at Jen Walters. And then this is where Jen Walters starts to break the fourth wall. I mean, Mariko starts to break the fourth wall. That is when the person on the page starts to talk not to either to the reader or somewhere outside of the story, because this is just a caption bubble describing what's going on, and she's angry. Seriously? Haha, I think it's cute, Hellcat says. And then Jen goes, no, punt. Oh, come on, Jen, it's sweet. Oh, please, Patsy, that's not sweet. It's inappropriate for the given context. And Patsy says, what is wrong with you? You need to watch more rom-com TV, man. For those who don't know, rom-com is short for romantic comedy. Several outfits later, so you bolt. Maybe later? Yes. Maybe later. Possibly something else if the moment moves me, Jen says. And Hellcat is trying to be supportive, I think, but she's also, she's also teasing Jen. I think it's cute you're trying to date a normal. I know, right? I'm becoming boring. Jen says, I wouldn't say boring, and I love this over here. Several outfits later, not that anyone's counting. And this is so funny. Hellcat says, I just thought you liked a more manly superhero type. A guy in armor, a bulging set of pecs. And Jen's like, oh. And she, with her back toward Patsy, Jen says, I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, please, Patsy says. And this is where they start to break the fourth wall. when Hellcat says, "I think this deserves a montage, don't you?" And Jennifer says, "Hey, I'm the only one who talks to the reader." Of course, she hasn't done that in the previous 10 issues. Well, not so much as it's noticeable, anyway. I mean, she sometimes talked to the reader when she was thinking out loud or to herself. Patsy's like, whatever. So they start the montage. And this is literally like Jennifer doesn't remember any of this. Okay, She-Hulk with Hercules. Wow. She-Hulk with another guy. Nice. She-Hulk with another dude, I don't know who it is. This is your life, huh? With a little grin. This she remembers. Short-lived. And number 5, annoying but sweet. And in the past. That I believe that's is that Namor? No. It's not Namor. And then she pushes that panel to the side saying, "Alright, that's plenty of that. Thank you." And so she arrives. She's leaving, you know. Hellcat wishes her well. "Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Permission if I ever heard it." And apparently, Patsy would do anything. So she arrives at the restaurant. "This is you, lady." "Okay, Jen, just chill." And then another cute heart caption bubble. Jen could feel the quiver of excitement as she got closer. Would this be Mr. Right or just Mr. Right now? And she looks up at the caption and says, "That's really not what I'm thinking." And then she puts up her own caption that's in dark green with white lettering. "He's not Mr. Right or Mr. Right now." "Okay, this ends now," she says, and she's mad. And she's mad. I think she's getting mad at the writer, Mariko. But for me, the reader, I just have a wonderful time reading this. And they put the caption on this page too. And she put another caption up. "He's just a guy and I need to get out more. Hello, it's Jen. Sorry, I'm late." "Hi, Mark. Hi. Hello, Jen. I'm sorry. Hello, it's Jen. Sorry, I'm late." And she says, and he introduces himself. "Hi, Mark. I ordered wine. I hope that's okay. I'm kind of a wine snob." And, well, that's not the only type of snob he is. And he says, "I didn't push in your chair." You didn't have to. It's a gentleman thing, and I'm trying to be a gentleman." And I like this. You know, they're still trying to put this cute little caption in there, but Jen puts one of her own and says, "Obviously, I did a full criminal record search on him. What am I, a rookie?" And she says, "Wow, that is a tiny steak. Is it okay?" "Yeah, it's just inside. It's just an inside joke. Sorry. He was a great date. Courteous, funny. So you're still practicing criminal law. Could she hope? Could this be the one?" Oh, I love it. And she just, you know, she gets rid of the caption bubble as fast as she can. "Yeah, it's fulfilling. I feel like this city needs better criminal lawyers, she says. And so then we see that Jen hardly gets a word in edgewise after that. Mark goes on, I don't know if you want to not talk about the superhero stuff or... And Jen says, oh, I mean, did you have a question or... And like she's trying to show interest in him. And he says, I have my own theories on it, obviously. Look, you have all these people with their liberal social theories about what society needs. Like society needs help. Well, I mean, and of course Jen can't get a word in edgewise, like I mentioned. He says, I mean really, as if society is all that complicated. It's not. You know, not that many people want to admit it, but society is primitive. And this is where she's starting to get ticked off. Because he keeps going. I mean, you must know that. Well, and you know, I'm not just blowing hot air out of my behind. I have an educated opinion on this, although I personally think he was blowing air out of his behind. She says, it's an interesting thought. As someone who works in criminal law, I can say. And the dude is starting to get drunk. You know what really drives me crazy? He says. And this is where we see Jennifer Walters starting to really get mad. She says, I can't imagine. And you can see the ice hanging off of her speech bubble because she's mad. She's getting irritated. And he goes on, what most people don't understand. And then the waiter interrupts. Can I offer you a dessert menu? She says, no, I'll just take the check. Thank you for dinner, Jen, Mark says. Shall we go for a nightcap somewhere else? And she says, you know, I'm never sure what that means. If it means drinks, it's a no. If it means something after drinks, definitely a no. And now she's the one to grin because she's attempting to put him, in his place. Take all the hot air out of his head. May I ask why? He says. Let's just say I'm at a time in my life where me being really annoyed by someone like you could be fatal. And I don't want to risk jail time. Ah! Good one. So, she's about to leave. Anyway, I enjoyed my tiny steak, so there's that. She gets a text from Patsy. Yo, how's the date? Jen says, over. So, have a good weekend, I guess. Then he gets really serious. A minute ago he was drunk. Then he gets serious. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy our date. Jen got the feeling that Mark had something else up his sleeve. Because then look at his eyes. Yeah, no kidding. Right, so crap. They promised her some downtime this issue. And then look what happens. He is not an actual dude. Jen had to wonder, did this mean romance was dead? Click, click, an antiquated type robot. And Jen really got ticked off. Or was it just that men were more complicated than she could ever imagine? What the... all this time the characters have been using these words like friggin', flaming, and all this stuff. And she just, you know, I know what she would have said if it had been put into print. But we got to keep in mind that, you know, well, at least the writers and the editors have to keep in mind that young, impressionable brains do read these comic books. The date is over. It was finished before you decided it was over. Commence attack sequence. And now she's transforming into She-Hulk. Bad date. BAM! Knocks the robot back onto the floor, turning over the table. So much for your downtime, Jen. Well, and you know the line is just hitting his mechanized brain, probably going to short out his circuits. Single girls know the best way to get over a bad date is a nice glass of red wine, a few good reruns, and the comfort of go away. Yes, even in this transformed state, still she does not like those caption bubbles. Really bad. I mean, because at this point she cannot even see the text that Hellcat is sending, so that's a little bit curious. You know, how can she respond if she can't even see the text? I mean, look, do you see her holding a cell phone in her hands anywhere? You know, she has two hands. There's not a cell phone in either one of them. But yet, we see these texts from Hellcat, like how bad, like TV movie of the week bad. Did you have to rip his arm off or something? Whir click, whir click click, whir click click click. Did you accidentally rip his arm off? And I love this. I love this issue, guys. But how can she even see these text messages while she's fighting everybody else? And especially when she doesn't have the cell phone in her hand. At least your night was more interesting than mine. I spent the night on hero duty watching a guy try to sell plutonium. Plutonium! Hey, I'm close to your date place. What was the name? Bolts? I think I'm right here. Very interesting. An increase in muscle mass with this form, a decrease in mental acuity. And so she is just going right through the restaurant, taking out all those robots. I mean, it wouldn't be a good date without having to crush somebody. Hey, I was texting you. I can see you're busy, Hellcat says as she saunters in. I was going to see if you wanted to go for a taco. BAM! She kicks one of them in the back. So maybe we finish this, then taco? BAM! Bonk! She hits another one over the head with some wine. Then both of them keep smashing the robots. Slash! Slash! Hellcat must have some really cool nails, because I just noticed that about her. I'll take that as a yes, she says. So Hellcat kind of stole 2 pages. But anyway. Taco, Brooklyn, several hours later. Is that a real place? Taco? Was it an expensive dress? Patsy says. You know, part of the deal. I can't have nice things, Jennifer says. So, bad date? Not great, no. Good steak, though, Jennifer says. So, not a complete loss. And Jennifer's smiling because she's enjoying what she's eating with Patsy. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You think this was a setup? Probably, Jennifer says. We'll look into it. First, more tacos, she says. Then we can figure out the possible conspiracy to either ruin all my dates or kill me. And I have to say that I did enjoy the artwork all throughout this issue because it was bright, it was fun, and this issue is not yet finished. There you have it, the magic of the life of a single girl in New York City. Here come the romantic caption bubbles again, where even a bad date can become a great night if you have the key ingredients. Friends. Which can include cheesy music on a portable radio, tacos, and the company of a really great friend. And then they put this in here, which ticks Jen off. Sitting there with her best friend, Jen couldn't help but wonder. And then she goes, "Oh my God, shut up!" Next, Legacy. And in the next issue, it is not addressed who has been following Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk. So, that was all of that. But it was a fun issue. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that the comic was changed back to She-Hulk because it just didn't seem right as Hulk, and the intro to each comic kept going on. She's no longer Hulk. She's no longer She-Hulk. Just Hulk. So that was depressing. Anyways, thank you for this good run of 11 issues, and I'm glad it's continuing in She-Hulk, which I've already read the issue that follows this one, and I enjoyed it. So, if you're new to my channel, Spirit Comics, please do subscribe and smash that bell like She-Hulk so you'll be notified of all new uploads. And please, if you do, like and share this video with someone else who might enjoy it. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics. Till next time, true readers.